What's up everyone, this is Cyberknight, and today I have a Gate Guardian deck profile for you guys. Yes, of course, it's using the brand new support that came out in Maze of Memories. I actually was able to open it up early for Konami. Check out that video if you haven't seen it already, but it was a really good one. We had some amazing cards. I went over the new effects and stuff too. We'll go over them more in this as well. But basically, with the new support with Gate Guardian, it is actually more of a deck now. It is really fun, and I definitely recommend it because I feel like you can build it for fairly cheap. So let's go on ahead and go through it and all that. And if you guys want to see more deck profiles in the future, I do have some planned. So hit that like button if you want to see more of them, because as I've said before, deck profiles don't always do the best on my channel. So please support them if you want to see more of them. But anyway, let's get to the cards. So first off, obviously, you gotta have one of your original Gate Guardian. You can summon a lot easier in this deck now. You can summon like all the Gate Guardian pieces now so easily. And I like how you can still bring out the original. So yeah, it's a good one to have. You don't really need any more than that. Then of course, you gotta have your pieces of Gate Guardian. So I have 2 of Saga of the Thunder. Of course, then that means 2 of Kazijin, and then 2 of Suijin. Yeah, these monsters are still very good. I mean, honestly, you know, throughout the years, I've always used them like in the video games and stuff too. You're going to be pitching them, you know, like banishing them, send them to the graveyard, that kind of stuff to go for your fusions really easily. So, yeah, it's easy to get them on the field too if you need to with like fusion deployment, and we'll go through all that, but basically they're still very powerful and all level 7s, so that leads to other things too. Also, I am using 3 of the brand new Labyrinth Heavy Tank. So he's not a fusion anymore, he is actually an effect monster. This is another level 7, so again, there's some cards that take advantage of that. But basically, you can actually normal summon this card. You can't attack during that turn, but you could just normal summon it. So that's pretty good. But also the other effect is basically with this card and the field spell, they can help you get your Gate Guardians out, so then you can go for your fusions. So Labyrinth Tank is one of those main ones that helps you basically make sure that you have one of your pieces out there, so then, like I said, you can fuse with it later. And it's definitely one of the better cards out of this, so I'm glad to see they made it useful. Then also, we are running 3 of Shadow Ghoul of the Labyrinth. So yeah, another one that's been redone. This card is basically terraforming for our new Labyrinth Wall field spell, so it's pretty much that for the deck. You don't normally summon it or anything because it is a level 5. I wish it was level 4 instead, but yeah, you're basically just getting rid of it for the field spell. And then also when it's in your graveyard and you have Labyrinth Wall, then it can also destroy an opponent's monster. You know, if they're like attacking you or whatever, then you could just get rid of it. So I really like that effect, so he's still even useful in the graveyard. Also, I'm running 3 of Prisma. I figured Prisma would be pretty fun, and again too, I probably should have said this at the beginning, but I had my friend Oliver help me make this deck, and this was something he really suggested, and I thought it would be fun to use as well, because yeah, you're able to then pitch one of your Gate Guardian pieces to the graveyard, and then it becomes that name. So then it can help you go for your fusions, just like back in the day with like Gladiator Beast. It could become a Gladiator Beast and help you go for the fusions. Same idea here, really. And it's good to actually have another normal summon, because with this deck, you got a lot of high-level monsters, so it's good to have something that you can summon easily. And then after that, 3 of Ash Blossom, because hand traps. You definitely need some hand traps, and yeah, going against your opponent, it will definitely do really good. Now starting off with our spell cards, running 3 of the brand new field spell, which is Labyrinth Wall Shadow. This card is awesome. Like, it actually is a really good field spell. Basically, whenever you use this, you're able to get one of your Gate Guardian pieces, whether it's in your hand, deck, or even banished, and then set it in your spell or trap card zone. So it's almost like the Gate Guardian pieces are almost like Crystal Beasts, in a way. I feel like it's the best thing I can compare it to. And since they're still on the field, you can fuse with them. So you don't always have to actually summon them. Being level 7s, yeah, it would be difficult to actually summon all these. Also, it does destroy monsters that have less than 1600 attack, which is pretty good as well. If you're going to an opponent's deck that uses a lot of weaker monsters, it can actually come in handy on that too. It's kind of like, no, we use strong monsters here. So that card is amazing, and it makes the whole deck work and so much easier to fuse. So definitely recommend those 3. Then I'm also running 1 of each of the new Gate Guardian cards. We have Ryoku Guardian and Double Attack Wind and Thunder. Basically, these give you different effects to help you out. Like, if your life points are lower, you can kind of even the odds. And then double attack is if you have a Gate Guardian, you can, I believe, destroy a card. But the main things about both of these is that whenever they're in the graveyard, you can use their effects where you can basically search for Gate Guardian pieces. So I feel like that's the real reason to use them, is being able to get your Gate Guardian pieces from it. And that's why you only really need 1 of each. Then, of course, running 3 of Fusion Deployment. This card is stupid. Like, honestly, it is stupid in this deck, because from that, you can reveal one of your, you know, Gate Guardian pieces, let's say that one right there, and then it's, boom, Saga of the Thunder. Just, you know, you can go with any of the pieces, basically, but Saga of Thunder is the strongest one. So you could easily just go, boom, I have this monster now, and it's still, like I said, a good monster. It was in the second set of Yu-Gi-Oh! Metal Raiders that ever came out, and it's still a powerful monster that can do some damage to your opponent, and getting a free one? That's still good, obviously. It's like Blue Eyes. If I could get a free Blue Eyes out in the field, that's still a good thing. And this is one that could take out Blue Eyes. So, definitely recommend being able to do that. It is so stupid how easy it is to do, and I love it. So, definitely, you need 3 of this. It's just that simple. Then also 2 of Sacred Sword of 7 stars. We have all these level 7s. We don't mind banishing them. Field Spell can help bring them back and stuff too, and it's your draw engine. Helps you draw a few cards. So, 2 fit really well. Then also, I'm going with 2 Foolish Burial Goods. This is another one that came in handy quite a bit because mainly Jiraiya, which we'll get to in a little bit. He's a trap card now, not a monster. What's good about him is that he's also one of those that whenever he's in the graveyard, you banish him, you get to search for a Gate Guardian piece. So I felt like most of the time I was using Foolish Burial Goods for that, or the other Gate Guardian cards that were, you know, spells and traps, basically. Get them to the grave so I could use the searching effects. Also, regular Foolish Burial, because you don't mind sending them to the grave either. Called by the Grave, because, yeah, I don't like hand traps. Let's see, Gold Sarcophagus, because, again, banishing stuff is not a problem. You can do that. It's kind of like with Flundrace. Go ahead and banish it so you can get it even sooner than what the card would let you do. So, I really like it for that reason. And I kind of just threw in a Monster Reborn, because with all these high-level monsters, if, like, again, Saga of the Thunder, if it's in your graveyard, why not, you know, just summon him? Bring him back with Monster Reborn. He wins games, why not? So, yeah, I like just having that for that reason. And then for a trap, since there's not too many of them, we have 2 of Prey of Jiraiya. He basically is a monster trap card now. He can help destroy a card in the same column, which is really good. But also his searching effect is the main thing. You don't mind getting him to the graveyard to then get that search. And he's okay by himself too. I do like having him as, you know, he's over 2,000 attack and easy to bring out. So why not? And then also 3 impermanents because, yeah, again, I don't always like hand traps, but you gotta run a couple yourself. And impermanents is just always good. Now moving on to our extra deck, you gotta run 3 of the brand new Gate Guardians combined. So yes, our brand new Gate Guardian, which makes sense. He should have been always this way as a fusion, right? It just makes so much more sense. Anyway, he's so easy to bring out. You just gotta have your Gate Guardian pieces and boom, you banish them, you bring out the big boy. It is stupid how easy he is to bring out, and he is annoying for your opponent. You know, he can shut down a lot of different decks out there. I mean, he still has that 3,750 attack, so that's good. He wins games, and then even if they do get rid of him, then you get one of your other Gate Guardian fusions instantly on the field. So yeah, he's a good boss monster now, like really good. The original one is nothing compared to this one. And I like I said, we can use the original one, but you go for that fusion so easy. Like first turn, I'm usually bringing out this guy and I'm like, okay, I'm set up now. So that's how you play him, and whew, he's a strong one for sure. Then also for our different like pieces of Gate Guardian, I'm basically running 2 of each, but first off we have 2 of Gate Guardian of Water and Thunder. This is of course with Saga of Thunder and Suijin. Basically, it's a strong monster to have, but like his effect that helps you out is that you're able to turn when your opponent's monsters attack to 0. So even if your opponent is attacking into it, which sometimes people don't pay attention to, you can just turn that attack to 0 and then, okay, you killed your own monster and you took damage. It's a really funny card that can do that. You can do it like twice per turn as well. And I think he's like one of the strongest of the mini like Gate Guardians. So I really like him on that one. Then after that, I'm also running, of course, 2 of Gate Guardian Thunder and Winds. Also remember, too, whenever these leave the field, they get to bring back one of the pieces of Gate Guardian. So, yeah, it does make it even more annoying. This one, though, is kind of a searcher. It helps you search for your spells and traps that are Gate Guardian stuff. So, that's what's good about this one. He's a little bit weaker, so I feel like he's one of those I bring out every so often, because he's just kind of like, oh, it's nice to have a search every so often if I don't have everything set up the way I want to. So, he's good for that, for sure. And then last but not least, I'm also running 2 of Gate Guardian, Wind and Water. This one essentially just helps negate spells and traps. That's basically what it does too. Again, he's kind of one of those I don't bring out as often. It kind of depends on what deck I'm going against, really. You know, if I'm going against something that's more beatdown, I'm going for the first one. If I'm going against something that does use a lot of spells and traps, I'm probably going for this one then, you know? It just kind of depends on your situation, really. And then, of course, like I said too, with all of them, they all share that same effect where if something happens, you get to bring back one of the pieces that are in them. So whether it be a Saga of the Thunder, Kazijin, or Suijin, it's really good. And then afterwards, we just have like some generic stuff. You can always change this stuff out, but I am using one number 11 Big Eye. This card's getting a little tougher to find, so you can go for something else, but we have so many level 7s, I feel like why not have this one? And same with number 89. I feel like this is another like good generic rank 7. Again, it can be replaced with something else, although I don't think he's very expensive. Last time I checked, I think it was under $3. Could be more or less by the time you're seeing this. And then also one of Zeus, because we do have some XC monsters, so I feel like Zeus is pretty good. Because basically, after you have all the fusions, you have room for whatever you feel like. And that's why the last part of this is just link monsters, because I'm using one of Nightmare Phoenix, one of Nightmare Unicorn, and then Access Code Talker, because those are just good link monsters to have. You can really go with anything you want on that. As long as you have the fusions, you're set. And I don't think anything really in this deck is that expensive, so you can build it pretty dang easy, and you can always just switch out a few cards in the extra deck, make it a little bit cheaper for you. You don't need the Access Code Talker, it's just a good option to have. You can go for other things too. And there you go. I hope you guys have enjoyed this Gate Guardian deck profile. It was a lot of fun to put together. Oliver, a good friend of mine, helped me out with a lot of it too, so I gotta give him credit. And the deck is really fun to play. And especially if you're a person like me, one of these old Yu-Gi-Oh players that remembers back in the day when Gate Guardian, the Paradox Brothers were a big threat, you're going to like playing this, and I'm glad it finally got some support. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and all that. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're wondering what sleeves I use Dragon Shield, because, yeah, they are awesome, and that's what I definitely recommend. So, I do have a link, affiliate link, if you guys want to help me out on that, too. But, thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. See ya.